profile is all over the internet. But what I do in my 9 to 5, I'm a CFO of a maritime company in Nigeria. In terms of how I help professionals, I coach C-level executive women on work-life integration so that they can have optimal living their phenomenal lives. In addition to that, I mentor career professionals in millennial stage, giving them toolkits, information, strategies for them to write the right mindset and framework in order to thrive at work. In my other activities, I like to write, so I've authored 3 books so far, and they all border on career actually. The first being ABC Tools for the Workplace, which speaks about 26 competencies that millennials should have in order to get to the top of their career. The second being The Confident Woman, and how you use your confidence to project your competence so that you can get the acceleration that you require. The third book being The Work Easy, which is a model or framework to help you integrate your life with work, live a life that makes sense to you, thrive at work, thrive at home, thrive in other aspects of your life, and deliver the optimal living. Now, in a nutshell, that's who I am, because we are not here actually to discuss me. We are here to discuss topics that will enhance the productivity, efficiency, and capacity of our audience. In a nutshell, that's who I am. More information on www.deborahdavid.com.
Awesome. I was going to ask you about that, but since you mentioned it right now, I'm also going to leave that link in the description. So once you're done with the video, go down to the description box and click on her link to learn more about her and about her work. Okay, you talked about how one of your books has 26 competencies that for career professionals they can use to get to the top of their careers. I'm going to need you to share 1 or 2 of those competencies. I know it's in your book, just share 1 or 2 with us. But before we talk about that, how is goal setting important in terms of being productive and efficient in one's career?
Goal setting is a gift. And goal setting, when done right, gives you a map to the destination that you seek. What I mean by map, goal setting is about the future. When you are setting a goal, you are setting a goal to a destination that you plan, intend, desire to achieve, and you are trying to bring the reality of that destination into your present situation. When goal setting is done right, it gives you opportunity to assess your present location, decipher your future destination, and do a gap analysis between the two. In the process, you will now realize the actionable steps, intentional steps that you need to take in order to achieve the goal that you are setting. So if you are setting goals, 2 things are important. You must be very clear about your goal. Very clear, no ambiguity. You are not copying, you are not following the crowd. It's what you actually desire. You must be so clear. Self-motivated, it must be a goal that resonates with your personality type, who you are, and what you are capable of achieving. At this age, I cannot set a goal to become a world Olympics champion in any particular sport. It doesn't just follow me. I am not that place. I haven't played in that space before. I don't really desire it. So if you're setting a goal that does not resonate with you, that you don't desire, that you don't really have a focus on, that you know that when the chips are down, you can still pursue, that goal will fail and fall flat ab initio. So that must be clear. Number 2, the goal you are setting must be well aligned with other areas of your life. There is no point creating a list of wishes where you want to become this, that, and it will take you in different directions. You will have to set a goal that properly aligns with all the areas of your life. If you're a student, there are some goals you will set that will work for you in your present circumstance and take you to where you're going. If you're a worker, there's the way you will set your goals in the sense that you already know that portion of your 24 hours in a day does not belong to you. So every other thing you are doing will have to incorporate that aspect of your major life into everything else you're doing. So there are techniques for setting goals, and this is what I coach professionals on most of the time. I have coached 138 professionals on goal setting in this year only, January and February.
Wow, nice. I love your first statement that goal setting is a gift. And when you put it like that, what I heard is it's a gift you give to yourself when you sit down to actually map out how you want your future and or rather how you want your career to look in the future. Now, as someone who works in a corporate environment, I know you've said that goals should be something that resonates with an individual, but what are the common goals that people in corporate environments should aspire to, especially as millennials in the workplace? What are the goals they should set for themselves? And people that have also gotten to say mid-level management and all of that, what would you also say to them in terms of not settling?
A very important question you've asked. But unfortunately, there's no better answer, in the sense that individuals vary and what they are doing determines the steps they are going to get to. It's like planting seeds. Every action you take every day, you are planting seeds, and those seeds will come up with a particular fruit or a tree. If your goal actually, in terms of, if I say you should be setting goals to be promoted to where? There are people whose desire is to just go and work for 5 years, learn the structure and exit. And there are people who said, I am going to be at the peak of my career. So I am going to make assumptions that we are talking about those people whose desire is actually to get to the peak. And the way I coach my professionals in getting to the peak, I use the M.A.D framework. On my YouTube channel, there are a lot of resources on goal setting, almost about 11 different videos on goal setting. And in this, my M.A.D technique, what do I say that you need to do? And in that sense, it's going to make your work really, really easy and light. So if you're a professional that is upwardly mobile, you are desirous of going to the peak. Let's say you started in sales or marketing or any particular discipline at all, and you want to get to the very peak of your career, the goals you should be setting should be the goals that take you to that place, because that's what you desire. And if your goal is eventually to become a polypreneur, whereas you're an entrepreneur, doing your own stuff, intrapreneur, also working for a company, your goals will be different. And if you want to completely be an wholesome intrapreneur, to say, I'm not cut out for entrepreneurship, I don't want to do my own business, I'm not cut out for setting up parameters, I just want to be in a place that is stable and structured. So I'm going to make my assumption for that other third person. You want to get to the peak of your career, you want to stay in paid employment because nothing really is wrong with it, and you want to make name. So if you're going to do that, I have a M.A.D framework. So it is not mad in the sense that the person has lunatic tendencies. It's M.A.D. The first thing on M.A.D, M is for you to have a model. Imagine an architect, or you want to build a house, you are in the real estate sector, or you are the one who has contracted someone to come and build a house for you. What do you think they first do? They build the house before they build the house. What does that mean? Find a representation of how the house is going to look like, either by drawing, or you create a mock-up, or use cardboard to do it. So you see the picture very clear. And in doing that, it means you're going to find a model. Get on LinkedIn. Who are the marketing directors of standard companies that I emulate, that I think that should be there? You may start in a one-man business or a private entity right now. Maybe in future, your goal, that's why I say you have to be clear. Your goal is to become a marketing director in a PLC, in a blue chip company. Your matter is easy because you are very clear on where you're going. So go there to all those big blue chip companies and look at the profiles of marketing director. Check the exam places they've been, the certifications they've received, check their stories, check what they are posting, what conferences are they attending. By the grace of God, you're going to get there, because every day the steps you are taking and the seed you're sowing will take you to that place. So that's the M framework, which is the model, which gives you the clarity, which gives you a vision that is so clear and unambiguous. And then you are following a model, right? It's not all the time that people have to sit with you and say, this person is my mentor, I'm calling him, I'm calling her. There are a lot of people resources out there that can give you direction, information, and strategy to get to where you're going. That's the M. The A in the framework is the accountability, which means you have to set up a system and a structure. Both of them are different. Set up a system and a structure of accountability, whereas you hold yourself accountable to what you said you want to be. So you cannot be doing like this. It's not every good idea that will become your idea once your goal is clear. So if someone comes and says, let's go and do ICANN, you know you are not going there, right? So you need an accountability partner in your life. You need a coach. You need a mentor. You need people who will support you when you are going through phases of life. You need those systems that will always put you back in check. You need a vision board. You need a community. And that's the system of accountability. That's why I say system and structure, they are different. You create a structure, you create a system. You need to be in a community of association of marketers. What are the people in that industry doing? What programs are they doing? Am I in the faces of people who will understand me? Even in the office, you have to create a system of accountability where people know that you are on your fast lane to where you're going. In terms of, you can't just sit in a meeting and be quiet. Why should you be quiet? Right? They want to do presentation or marketing. They are looking for big and A game customer. You'll be in front. So create that system where every 90 days you review, where am I on my journey? Where am I on my journey? You have an accountability partner. You call, this is where I'm doing. Help me to review. And then they say, you need to get this chartered institute of something. You need to be here. You need to be there. And you don't drop the ball. The D in the M.A.D framework is the diligence. Because you can set all the goals. If you don't put in the work, they are going to fall flat. That diligence teaches you to be resilient. All the issues will not work in your favor all the time. Many things will happen to push you away from that goal. You will bounce back. You were sick, you will stand up. You wrote exam, you failed, you will write it again. You will be disciplined, you will focus. Inside the diligence is that mentality and the mindset that I know where I'm going and I'm not going to derail. And that is the actionable steps you now begin to take. You come and form habits around your goal. You form what's it called, a routine around your goal. Every day I'll read a book on marketing, just an hour. You know, those small things you do. By the time you do that, at the end of the week, you have 7 hours. End of the month, you can tell, calculate it. So when you have done like 300 hours in a year, and you read books with ace marketing ideas, you will be downloading information at a level that even the bosses ahead of you will call you closer. Those things you said, it's not beginners that know it. Right. So I don't want to expand too much on that, but that M.A.D framework is what you need in order to get to exactly where you say you are going, if your goal is clear.
Oh my God, thank you. That was really, really wonderful. M, have a model. A, we have an accountability system and structure. And then D, diligence. Very, very key. Oh my God, thank you so much for sharing those. We're not going to go back to those 26 competencies, but we don't have enough time. So I'm going to ask you to just share 1 or 2 competencies that you believe every millennial professional should begin to develop or should develop in the course of reaching the goals that they have set for themselves.
Right. Okay. All those things follow A, B, C. So I'll pick X. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, X, Y, Z. X is explore in that book. And explore means create a mindset that proves. Constantly ensuring that you don't maintain a status quo. You don't tell yourself you have arrived. You don't agree that you know. Because the more you say you know, yesterday's knowledge is archaic. We now have artificial intelligence. We have a lot of things going around. If you're going to be an upwardly mobile professional, you must keep exploring your environment. I call it environmental scanning. Things are changing. In your industry, they are changing. Even in your company, things are changing. All around you, things are changing. In your profession, things are changing. You may just quickly determine how to pivot. Or sometimes you learn a more efficient way to do exactly what you're doing. So that's one of the competencies that you must have: a probing mindset, a mind that explores, a mind that is open, a mind that asks questions, a mind that accepts feedback, a mind that believes that it can be done better. That's one of the competencies of the 26.
A mind that believes that it must be done better. That is very key. If you don't believe that it's going to be done better, you're going to find yourself stuck doing the same thing that you have done over and over. And like Deborah just said, the world keeps moving, like new things keep coming up, even in your industry. So you really want to have that mindset that enables you to look out for new information, new systems, new structures, new way of doing what you currently do, or even a new dimension that you can definitely tap into. Deborah, you've shared a lot in the short time that we have. So what advice would you give to millennial professionals in terms of setting and reaching goals this 2023? What should they do? What should they know as they proceed, as they progress in this 2023? So that where we started from doesn't look anything like where we end. Or how do I say that? So that by the end of this year, we would definitely see a clear difference in the progress that we have made.
Yeah, one word: don't do life alone. ensure that you're constantly surrounded by people who know where you're going. In fact, there's nothing new under the sun. So don't be probing in darkness. Get books, get mentors, get tips, get directions, go online, find out what has been done before. So you build on the system that already existed. Trying to reinvent the wheel is foolishness. Don't do life. Get yourself some help, howsoever.
Get yourself some help. And that's how top talents reach top targets, by having a community of people that understand where they are going the same direction that they are going, and or have the capacity to help them to reach their targets. Thank you so much, Deborah. I know you've mentioned your website earlier, www.deborahdavid.com, but where can we find you on social media?
All my handles are the same, at the Deborah David, TheDeborahDavid on Instagram, at the Deborah David, on LinkedIn, at the Deborah David, on Facebook, at the Deborah, on Twitter, at the Deborah, TikTok, at the Deborah David, website, the Deborah David, YouTube, at the Deborah David.
Awesome. So everywhere you go is the Deborah David. I'm also going to be leaving, I'm going to be leaving the links in the description box. So everyone, make sure you check her out, connect with her. And if you would want to have her to coach you in your career journey this 2023, please reach out to her. Remember, don't do